So there's a worldwide pandemic going on. The malls are closing for 2 weeks near me. All the schools, the gyms, and even the theaters are closing tomorrow on Friday. And I still found a way to get to the movies. So today I'm going to be talking about my review for the new Vin Diesel film, Bloodshot. First and foremost, I just want to say, guys, do not go racing to the movie theaters to see this because, as I said earlier, there's a worldwide pandemic. There's much more important things we should be doing with our lives, like staying home, being with loved ones, trying not to spread anything. I know people are freaking out about this, and I usually never put this stuff in my channel, but it's here. It's out there. Anyways, Bloodshot is about a Marine named Ray Garrison. Not too far into the movie, him and his wife are assassinated. Not too long after, he awakens to realize he doesn't know where he's at. He doesn't know who any of the people in the room are. He doesn't know who he is. Through the power of nanotechnology, Ray Garrison has been resurrected as a character named Bloodshot. Although I don't think they ever mention his name in the movie. It's kind of weird. The only other thing I can really reveal is Ray Garrison is trying to get revenge on his wife's killer, all while trying to figure out if the people who are pulling the strings are good or are they bad. So let's flip it around and talk about the production side of the film. The director of this movie is David S.F. Wilson, which it's his directorial debut. He hasn't directed anything before. It's starring Vin Diesel, who isn't really that good of an actor, so I guess if you were to get some sort of actor to play a mindless killing machine, why not Vin Diesel? The orchestral score of the film is done by Steve Jablonsky, who's done Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Out of the Shadows, Transformers. So this guy's no stranger to great soundtracks. Does he offer a great soundtrack with this? The supporting cast did a job in this movie as well. Guy Pearce, he was sort of interesting, but there wasn't really too much to his character. He played the head of the company who revived Vin Diesel. And from the start, when you see him, you can just kind of figure out where his character's gonna go, and most of you won't be wrong. There's a crew that's a part of Guy Pearce's company in this movie, and they've all been enhanced by not necessarily nanotech, but robotic enhancements in general. Their characters were kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. The action scenes they got into were really entertaining and cool. It's not anything we haven't seen before, though. There's been stuff in Terminator Genesis, Salvation, Alita Battle Angel, that we've all seen very similar to this. Toby Kebbell's in this movie, plays a character by the name of Martin Axe, and if you guys aren't familiar with Toby, he was in the really crappily done Fantastic Four reboot from 2015. God, I forgot about that guy. This movie as a whole, it just wasn't really too eventful. Not action-wise or pacing-wise. The action and pacing were fine, but just a lot of this stuff has been done before. It's been done better. If this movie came out in like the late 80s, early 90s, it would definitely be a hit, but since we've had 20 or 30 years of stuff since then, it's just very bland and generic. I didn't really care about Vin Diesel's character. I didn't really care about Toby Kebbell's character. Same with Guy Pearce. And I feel bad too because I have some friends who are actually really into the Bloodshot comics and the source material does look really badass. But I don't know, maybe this would have just been better off as a video game. Like they can make low-budget video games, and then if they do successful, they can make it bigger budgeted and appeal to the masses. I probably would have done that. If you're just looking for a dumb action movie with mediocre plot, hey, this might be the movie for you. Sometimes for me, I just don't have an ability to just turn off my brain because they try to make you care for the characters. That's my problem. Certain movies with these action stars like Vin Diesel and The Rock, if you want it to be just an over-the-top action movie, make it that way. Just don't try to have us care for these characters. Since this movie is based off the Valiant comic of the same name, Vin Diesel's talking about in interviews how if it does well, there'll be a whole Valiant comic movie universe. Don't think that's happening. Not just because this movie is mediocre, but also because of the coronavirus. Not many people are going to be rushing out to see this, and I don't blame them. Also, I found this kind of weird. There's a scene where this guy's in his tech lab, and he goes to shoot a toy basketball into a net, and he's like, Kobe! I'm like, really, it's kind of too soon to say stuff like that. I mean, I understand you probably made the movie before the incident happened with Kobe Bryant, but you really couldn't have edited out that little 5-second thing? In the end, this movie is not really worth your time, and there's no end credit scenes. I know, it's a superhero movie, but surprise, there's nothing at the end. Everything about this movie was mediocre. It was bland. There was some interesting action going on, and the robotics were kind of cool, but highly reminiscent of Terminator and Alita. The soundtrack also was mediocre. The acting was bad to mediocre. One last thing before I give this movie a rating, guys. the movie reviews, I'm going to try to start doing streaming service stuff for the next few weeks because Mulan got delayed, A Quiet Place 2 got delayed, New Mutants got delayed again, not even because of their own doing because they didn't want to release it, but because of this coronavirus stuff. So I want to get around to seeing The Hunt. Maybe I'll get around to seeing that if there's a theater that's still open, but I want to be careful. Despite all this craziness, I still went out to see it, but regardless, it was not worth it. Bloodshot gets a 5 out of 10.